Hello, my friend. Welcome to Flow with Jess. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a few days, and I am very excited to be taking this time to record this video. I hope you're all doing well. Please let me know what's new in your world. We're coming up on the spring season here, at least in the northern hemisphere, and at least in my neck of the woods. There have been so many birds and squirrels out. The air is getting warmer. There's so much more sunshine. And now we have gained a little extra sunlight. Things just are feeling like they're coming back to life, and it feels really good. So I hope you're feeling that. And yeah, let me know what's going on in your world. It's been a little bit. It's so funny. As I do, like, I don't always come to the table with the topic, but the thing that's been floating around in my mind has been this is what's been on my mind. I am a woman. I am a woman. I've been working my way through this book. My husband is like, how analog of you. I'm teaching myself Kundalini yoga kriyas through this book. And it's not the easiest thing in the world because there's a lot of nuance to these practices, and there's just still images. So I'm trying to do these movements and I don't always know exactly what I'm doing, or there's a lot of chanting and I don't really have the teaching firsthand to know if I'm doing it right, but I'm just trusting that I am. I'm doing it enough and I'm just learning. But you know, this book is working through all these varying movement practices, but it comes along with themes of different meditations, different kriyas, which essentially is just a sequence of movements, meditation, and breath work to help either alleviate or support the body in one way or another. And so there's one called Outward Bound. There's another one called um, gosh, I've done so many. There's the Magnificent Nine. There's the flow. Like, there's just so many different ones. And of course, in true fashion of me, I don't have all the titles. But coming back to the why, I'm really doing my best to try to support myself in this stage of my life. And I'm feeling like doing daily practices that tune me into my heart and tune into my body, and they take time every day to just kind of connect with the spiritual side of things as well. But what's really interesting about this segment of movements is there's things that will help with navigating the cycle of being a woman. And there's just something a little bit different about us, isn't there? And it's something that we kind of joke about, especially in meme format. Like, there's so many reels and things online kind of making fun of the fact that, women go through a lot of changes throughout the month. Our personality shift, our sensitivity changes, what we like and don't like varies throughout the month. And that's because we have all of these different hormones that are at play. And depending on where we are in our personal cycles, it affects us in so many ways. I am on month 3 now of my cycle returning, which I sometimes refer to as my moon. And I didn't have one for like 27 months. And I'm telling you, I did not have a connection with the moon during that time, or it was just totally different. But in these past few months, getting back into the cycle of the moon and going through the natural transition of hormones through a cycle. It's shifting the way that I view myself and my life once more. It's just another lens to look through, because when you are feeling particularly, and I'm going to use the word aroused by life, you're excited, you have so much energy, you feel stronger, you feel brighter, you feel bolder. You know, there's ways to utilize that energy to support yourself in that phase. And then when you do have your moon and you transition into a more sensitive, introspective period of time, and you just want a hot bath and you want to read and you want to go to bed earlier, you know, it's trying to tap into and understand where you are in your cycle. It just makes it a little bit easier not to get so upset with yourself when you're not like always maintaining this steady level of progression. And we've talked about it here before, where I struggle a lot with, you know, the productivity guides and the 30 days to this and the because like we're cycling constantly, and what you need right now is going to be different than what you need in 2 weeks and 3 weeks. What you need to eat changes. The levels of nutrients and the vitamins that you need are going to shift based on where you are in your own personal cycle. And I am just doing my best here to just connect and reconnect with that, because it's been a really long time. Like I've been without this for a very long time. And the interesting thing that I'm also personally navigating is that traditionally, it of course, like everything, it depends. So I'm going to use a generality just to showcase this point. But of course, things are different for different people at different stages of their life. But typically, a woman will have her moon time during the new moon. And then during ovulation, that's when the full moon time is, and then we cycle back. So typically you kind of follow the same cycles as the moon, right? So you're at a low energy. When it's at a low energy point, things kind of come up, they wax, they hit their peak, and then you release, you shed. So you follow this natural order of like, you know, you have your winter, your spring, your summer, your fall. It matches the moon cycle, matches the progression of the seasons. But where I am is that I'm shifted, and it's the full moon today, and I am on my moon. And then in 2 weeks, when it's going to be the new moon, I am going to be during my ovulation phase. And so what I've been noticing is that my personal energy levels are the opposite, essentially, of what the standard cycle would look like. And I'm trying to be aware of what that means, because one thing I've noticed is externally, right? The energy is at its fullest right now, but I am like in my shedding winter stage. But it feels as though I'm not as low energy. Like it feels like it's not compounding. It feels like I kind of get the best of both worlds, where the world right now is like out there pushing. We are like it's external, but I get to kind of be in my own zone. But I'm not feeling super weighed down by the limited energy that would have been here had it been the new moon. And then come my personal full moon time, my ovulation is when the world is in the new moon. It's a lower energy phase. So I have this this extra energy within myself that I get to push forward into the world with. And so it's different and it's interesting, and it's really my first time, I think, talking about this. So I'm interested to see how this develops and if this cycle stays, because I was doing some research about it. And what I gathered is that this could be the phase of like the wise woman. So it could typically happen to a woman when she's transitioning into menopause or out of the childbearing years. Or it can happen to a woman when she's meant to be put into a leadership role or a teacher role and to give and exert energy, lessons, wisdom to the world during this time. I read it as the red moon cycle. And I also read that it was classified as like the time of the red witch. And I thought that was really interesting. I still don't know how I feel about the term witch. I've played around with it, but I don't know if it feels super right in my being, in my body, as like a term that I want to define myself as. Um, I don't really enjoy classifications, to be honest, in any way. I've always struggled with descriptions and kind of um, clinging on to a description or a term. But I just think it's fascinating. And to me, witch just simply means someone very in tune with her body and her intuition, connected to nature, and uses things like ritual and prayer and meditation and herbalism, which is essentially just, yeah, I just view it as somebody who is super connected, just super connected. But anyways, cool. Well, like, thanks for listening. I don't know if there's anything else I really want to say about that topic, but I feel like that's the first, big attempt at expressing expressing my thoughts and feelings on the moon time and the cycles of a woman. And yeah, that's about that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. And um, I hope you're so well. Thank you for being here on this journey. It's a wild one, isn't it? It's not just me, right? You're feeling it too? Come on, let me know you're feeling it. And until next time, my friends, we'll see you soon.